authors. Welcome to Author Nation. It's Thursday, and that means we are doing a live interview. And Author Nation is the place you come when you want to be a successful nonfiction author. And if you haven't subscribed to YouTube yet, do it now so you don't miss any of our really awesome upcoming live interviews. We have some good stuff coming along. And today's interview is so important. We're going to be talking about book awards. I have seen the success book awards can bring authors. And so it's really important to me. So today I'm bringing in Hannah Jacobson, who started Book Award Pro. She started it with her laptop, her nerdy obsession for book awards, and the sheer desire to help as many authors as she can. So Book Award Pro is the technology company that automates the entire book award process, launching hundreds of authors into an award-winning success. Now, Hannah is not in North America. Many of my interviewees are in North America. She is not. She is a nomadic entrepreneur. I love that. I may be copying her soon. I love the idea. And currently, she is coming to us from Amsterdam. Welcome, Hannah. How are you?
Hi, Melody. Thank you so much for having me here today. And hello to our live audience. It's so wonderful to see you here.
Yeah. So you're in Amsterdam. What took you to Amsterdam?
Actually, just no particular reason, just an interest to be here, which sounds kind of wild and free and crazy. It's usually less glamorous than that, but I am very happy to be here.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. I think you should be anywhere you want in the world, right? And if you can do that, that's like lucky you, right? So if you are listening live, feel free to drop in your comments or questions. We will be answering them as we go. So Hannah, tell us a little bit about your experience in the publishing world, kind of like the before the Book Award Pro came along.
Before Book Award Pro.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's, this, as I'm sharing my story, I hope that you take a moment to reflect on your own journey. Like, how did you get to be here? How did you get into writing and publishing your book? It rarely happens overnight. So long before I was in the publishing industry, I was a reader. It's as simple as that. When I was a kid, I would. This is kind of the very beginning of Book Award Pro, if I look back on it. But as a kid, I would go to the library and find every award-winning book I could possibly find. And I actually made it my personal mission to find a new award that I'd never seen before. So that was, 8-year-old Hannah scouting the library for book awards.
Love it.
I had no idea that it would, eventually be my dream come true. But I, revisit that concept of reflect on your own journey. Where did you start? How did that, where did that spark come from? So over the years, I took my nerdy passion for book awards, even as a kid. I actually had an internship at a university press and happened to specialize in book awards. And the bug, it bit me and it never left. So I've tracked book awards for years. I like to understand them. I like to know what they're about, when their due dates are, what are their publication date restrictions, what kind of books are they looking for. So I, had this tracker going on, and it occurred to me, in my experience, I've seen authors really struggle with the award process. It can be lengthy and time-consuming, and authors have a lot going on. So I launched my own book award services as a consultancy, helping authors with book awards. So that's kind of how it started. And today we're a technology company. The things that I previously did as a consultant, we actually have developers and an entire team dedicated to fine-tuning the system that generates award matches for your book, actually targets your most promising opportunities to win, and even submits your book for you. So that's the big, broad story of Book Award Pro.
That is so cool. So let's back up just a little bit, and let's talk about what is a book award. Like, what is that? What does that mean? So some authors, I mean, you get it. It's like, oh, there's, they announced the Nobel Prize of Literature today, right? So talk about book awards comes with, I don't know how many kronars, I can't remember, but it comes with a lot of money. Most book awards aren't that. But so what are they exactly?
So the beauty of an award is everyone the world round knows what an award is. And a book award is an award for a book, but more relevant to our authors here, an award is it's a program that goes through a selection process and announces award winners. And the process to you looks like you have your book, you put it through the submission process, it's considered, and then you receive results. Most of the time, authors think of the Nobel Prize or the National Book Award or the Booker Prize. There's lots of famous awards, even the Pulitzer Prize. But there's a tidbit I like to share is that you don't have to win a famous award for it to really count and do something great for your book.
Yeah. So there are some kind of big awards out there. How many book awards are there? Like how many possibilities are there in the world for authors to win book awards? Are there like, a dozen, or are there a lot more than that?
So this is also one of my favorite things about awards.
Yeah.
Everything is always changing. There's always something new to discover. So when I first, as a kid, if you had asked 8-year-old Hannah, I might have said there are 10 book awards. If you asked 20-year-old Hannah, I might have said 50 book awards. Did you know there are thousands of book awards out there? Thousands.
So this is an international number, like thousands of international book awards. That's crazy. Who knew? I was with the 20-year-old Hannah. I was thinking maybe 50, right? Me and the 20-year-old Hannah, we're on the same page. So I've been enlightened. That's amazing. Thousands. And
Thousands.
so are some better than others?
So this really comes down to my dad used to say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And this really comes down to what's right for you and for your book. There's no good, there's no bad. A children's picture book award that's not the best award. That's not a targeted opportunity for a mystery novel intended for an adult audience. So when it comes to, is there a best book award? Is there a selection of that? It's more about what's best for you and your book, and it comes down to targeting your most promising opportunities to win.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So like, if I'm a nonfiction author, or let's say I'm a memoir writer, right? I'm not going to go get a children's picture book award, or I'm not going to get a self-help book award, or, a fiction book award. So it really comes down to, what am I writing? Who am I writing to? And out of the thousands, which 50 might apply to me, right? So that that number 50 might be, each author has about 50 there that could possibly be good for them, and then going through and finding the right ones through that. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's beautifully said. And I think it's important to take a step back. So maybe you know for certain that you've written a memoir, but maybe consider, does it have elements of self-help? Does it have elements of something else? Maybe a little bit of religion mixed in. And when you take the full scope, the full picture into account, there are more award opportunities available to your book that you might not have considered before.
Yeah, no, great points. And so that brings me to the question of how do I figure out what book awards are right for me and my book?
That's a wonderful question. It's one that at Book Award Pro, we actually get that all the time. It's a fair question. So the way Book Award Pro handles it, we scout the universe of awards. So thousands of awards, all these data points. it's important to take into consideration what an award is looking for. So like guidelines, restrictions, publication dates, what genre you write. It's important to take that into consideration, but also what's your most promising opportunity to win? And we call that targeting for the sake of our software. When doing it on your own, you might consider not about it's less about is the right award and more about how could this award benefit me? What can it do to help me? Am I interested in this? Yeah, does that make sense?
It does. It does. No, that brings me to, I've had some authors come to me and say, yeah, but my book's 5 years old, right? In order to win an award, you've got to be like, it's got to be the year it's published, or you have to, something this and something that. Now, I know that's not true. Do you want to speak to that just a little bit? I'll kind of talk about the myths around book awards that seem to get in the way of authors who could actually win book awards. Like, what are some of the things authors say to themselves that aren't true?
I love this question. Personally, so I'll share this story with you. If you think that your book is too old to win awards, we actually had a book in our system that had a publication date it was 1981. And if you had asked 20-year-old Hannah to look at this, I don't know. I would have thought, I don't know that you would have had any award options. Our system actually found hundreds of award opportunities for this book that was from 1981. So if you think your book is too old, it's not. It is true that the fresher your publication date is, so slightly before publication date, maybe even maybe up to a year or two afterward, you have the most promising opportunities, especially in your publication year, if you're trying to set a rule to it. It's true that your options dwindle over time, but there are still options available to you. So don't let the age of your book hold you back. Before I go into anything else, do you have anything you'd like to mention on that?
No, I don't think so. I think that's a really good point. I mean, I know that, I know of a story of a book author who won an award a few years after it was published, but I didn't realize 1982 was still like that. I didn't realize. It's like, wow, I'm still with like 20-year-old Hannah. So
that was very,
my mind. Go ahead.
It ended up being, we had the author say, oh no, my book wasn't published in 1981, 1982. It's actually brand new. I don't know why I typed that. And I thought it was so interesting that, there was still award opportunities, whether they were published in 1982 or currently. So that was very exciting.
Yeah, sorry, I put my birth year by mistake.
No, that's fine. I like it. We'll roll with that.
That's hilarious. And so some authors have also said to me, book awards, they're expensive and I don't get anything out of it. I mean, I've just spent all this money publishing a book because, publishing can be expensive, right? Hiring an editor and a cover designer, and depending on how much you're willing, how much authors pay out for publishing, it can be expensive. And then they get really, I noticed that in promotion, and they get really, really like afraid of spending money. And book awards is one of those areas. It's like, I'm afraid to spend money on book awards because, what would you say to that?
That's not, if you feel like that, you're not alone. That's a very, it's a very common and understandable mindset to be in. But if you were to ask me this question, an award, keep in mind, book awards don't have to be expensive. The prices range from $0 to upwards of $300. I did a query on the system the other day, and actually the average entry fee used to be $89 US, and it's dropped a little bit to $87 US, which still sounds like, wow, that's expensive. But keep in mind, that's the average, there are opportunities that cost nothing or that cost maybe $50. It's all over the place.
Yes.
So if you are trying to, save a bit of money, but you're curious about book awards, you're not really sure where to start.
Yeah.
Start somewhere. Even one award submission becomes one award nomination. And let me explain how this can actually be usable to you as
Yes.
an author. When you pay money for any kind of marketing services, maybe like Amazon ads, pay attention to what do you get out of it? So I like to explain an award entry fee. Consider it, you're entering the award, and now you have a story to tell your audience. You have a reason to connect with them, a way to engage with them. And what that actually looks like is, I'll practice with you, Melody. Let's try this.
Yes. Yes.
Let's say that I just submitted my book for an award, or Book Award Pro handled it for me. And now I'm at this juncture where I have something to share with my audience. So my first pick, I'm going to go to social media because it's completely free and I don't have to pay anything. I'm going to go to social media and I'm going to post a picture with me and my book, my newly published book. And in the caption, I'm going to tell a story. And I'm going to tell my audience about the first time I sat down to write my book. And today, take my audience on this journey from the moment I sat down to write my book. And now I'm an award-nominated author. I've submitted my book for its very first award. It's being considered for a literary prize. That's the kind of story that your audience wants to hear. And by your audience, your readers. They're curious about your life as an author.
Yeah.
No, so that's good. One usable example of, even if you just pay one award entry fee, so you don't have a lot of budget to work with, one award submission can give you that opportunity to connect and engage with your audience. Sometimes you'll hear me call that a promotional moment. Some authors think, oh, I don't want to do promotions. I'm not salesy. It's a moment to share and engage with your audience, and it doesn't have to stop there. You can, awards also have different stages. So maybe you're also announced a finalist, and that's a different stage to engage with your audience. Or maybe, it's a regular Tuesday and you're wondering about award results, but they won't be announced very soon. That's still a moment you can share, that anticipation you can share with your audience.
Yeah.
I think the common theme is really using awards to draw organic attention to your book and engage with your readers.
Yeah. I mean, it makes perfect sense. I can think of several things you could do. You could go online and say, I've just applied for this award. This award suits my book because my book is this, which also tells the reader the people who would want to read it. Right?
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
You can do it as well. So I can think of lots of ways to use a book award on social, or let's say you win an award. Then what would you do with it then?
That's always the, when you submit for an award, you always hope to win. So take a moment to recognize there are moments to share with your audience even before you win. But when you are announced an award winner, first you'll experience something that I like to call the magic of book awards. I can't explain it. It's a feeling. You can see it on someone's face when they win an award. And I've seen, industry leaders and experts, professors with 5 PhDs suddenly experience the magic of book awards. And what it is this spark of confidence that your book has made a difference, that readers enjoyed it, that you feel rekindled in your purpose.
Yeah. Cool.
That's I love that. But that's when you're an award winner, you'll feel the magic of book awards. And then how do you actually go about using that, there's so many ways. So first, you mentioned Melody. You can put your award on your cover, on your book cover. Sometimes that may be an award seal. Maybe you actually decide that you don't like the seal, but you'd like to add some text to your cover that says from the award-winning author of, and maybe you include your other book title on there. You could say the newly award-winning. There's lots of ways to frame this, but you get the picture. Get
Absolutely.
creative.
Yes.
Give your cover a refresh, front or back.
Right.
And
Cool.
let's see, you could do a press release, of course. That's a more traditional method, but that's definitely a valid way to use your award. And of course, don't really don't underestimate this. You'll want to do things like tell your family and friends. You never know, like, who is looking for a new book to read.
Yeah.
Tell your family and friends. Tell your local newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
Local news outlets are looking for positive, feel good stories. And there's nothing quite like, a hometown author is an international award winning author. That's big
That's a
news. And
story.
that's exactly. So don't be afraid to get creative and think, where might your readers be?
Yeah.
What's the story they might like to hear about your award?
Yes.
And use it all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. And tell your author friends as well, because we can, authors can work with each. So if I read a memoir and I win an award and I have 5 friends who have written memoirs, one, they'll know about a reward, and 2, they have something to blog about, right? Oh, this other book won this award, and so you can always use it that way as well, and tell all your author friends, because they are really good at promoting. There's many authors I know get quite good at promoting. You can promote each other as well. When you were talking about the the magic of winning a book award, no matter how many PhDs you had. I had this image of, sitting at a desk and getting your writing assignment back with this big gold star at the top, right?
Yeah.
Somebody likes my work. I did it. I did good. Right? It's kind of like a gold star.
That's exactly right. There's nothing wrong with, thinking back on your journey to publish your book and all the hard work that it's taken to get here. When you get recognition, it's also okay to get a little validation. It feels nice to be recognized for all that hard work that you put in. And much to Melody's point, share with your author friends. A lot of times we have a hard time promoting ourselves. Other people want to help you too. So, make it something that they're delighted to share, something very positive and exciting. Fortunately, book awards are they just happen to be very positive innately.
Yes.
And, on the subject of nonfiction awards, be sure to share with your professional network, especially maybe if it's an industry type publication. People are always looking for new nonfiction reads. There are always professionals in that sphere looking for something good to read. So don't be afraid to connect and engage with your professional network too.
Yeah. And it's another thing. It's a good time to put it out to book reviewers or bookstagrammers to say, hey, did you know this book won an award? Maybe you want to look at it. Maybe you want to review it. Maybe you want to read it, put it on Instagram. So that's another way, because we think about the traditional press release, but we have this non-traditional whole, people on YouTube and Instagram who, or, professional book reviewers who review books. And that might be a time to do that, or to do a blog tour. Like I've won this award, so I'm going to put it on all these blogs, this award-winning book. And then, you can be interviewed by bloggers and people as well. So that's another whole avenue to go down if you win a book reward. And it's a reason to reach out. Get, hey, you're a bookstagrammer. You do award-winning books. I've won an award. Here it is. So yeah, that's another way. So there's lots of things we've talked about, right as soon as you apply, if you're nominated, to say you're nominated. And then when you're a finalist, to say you're a finalist, and if and then when you win, to say you've won, and go the traditional route. Tell your local, local girl writes memoir, wins award, newspaper article, right? And go on social and tell everyone, tell all your family and friends, tell your author colleagues. Use it to get attention from Instagrammers and book bloggers and YouTubers who review books. So there's, have we missed anything? I've just thought I'd summarize. Have I missed anything there?
That's a perfect summary. And I would add, if all of this talk about getting attention for your book and getting people talking about your book sounds scary, try to reframe it in your mind as letting your audience celebrate with you. It shouldn't feel like, maybe you take a more salesy approach, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're having a hard time marketing and promoting your book, take a step back for a moment and think of ways that, how would you share exciting news with your family and friends, and expand that out and do it over and over. That's marketing. It can be done very organically in a very true to yourself way. I highly recommend that.
Yeah. And I think a lot of authors forget that their readers want to know about them. They're curious about them. And, authors, we feel like, oh, I can't, that'd be bragging. That'd be, they don't want to know about me. They're, I know I fall into that. It's not about me. Let's talk about you, which is in the end, it's a good thing, right? You don't want to go promoting yourself in that way. And I'm here to serve others. And therefore I focus on them. But it doesn't mean people don't want to see me as a human being. They don't want to know what I'm interested in. They don't want to know other things. So there's a time and place for keeping it about everyone else. And there's a time and place to celebrate yourself and your journey. And your followers want to join in on that. They want to be left out. They'll feel it's a negative thing to leave them out of that, right? They feel ignored, right? So look at it that way. You don't want to ignore the people who've been celebrating you and following you because they're interested in you and what you do, right? Yeah. Just before we pop on, I just want to say that Dale, Dale. Dale just wanted to say hello. Hey, I know that lady. What's up, Hannah? He just wanted to come in and say hi. And I did also go ahead.
Hi, Dale. Thanks for popping in. It's great to see you.
It's great. And I just wanted to let people know if they did want to learn more about book awards at Book Award Pro, it's bookawardpro.com. It'll also be in the description. And if you're live, please don't forget to ask comments, give comments, and ask questions. Excellent. So I want to kind of flip topics now. I have seen some book awards that yes, you pay for it, but they also give, all the finalists a blurb in a magazine or on their website, or some of them also like write reviews. There's a whole bunch of things that like, although you might be paying your 87 on average dollars American, there are other pieces, not just winning the award and getting the sticker on the book. There are other pieces. Can you just talk about what some book awards offer authors outside of just the award, right? But the other bits.
I love this. This is one of my personal favorite things about awards, but sometimes you'll come across something that I like to call a bonus benefit. Sometimes you'll see that in the form of a book review, a complimentary book review, since the judging panel is reading your book anyway for the purposes of judging. They may provide a complimentary review. You may also see an award may share your book in social posts, just additional promotional opportunities, basically included in your award entry fee. You're gaining something else from it.
Yeah.
So that's just a couple of examples. You'll see awards are finding new ways to do that. But basically, any time that they are sharing about your book, it has the potential to reach new readers, and you didn't have to do anything extra in order to do that. So that extra marketing is always a bonus.
Yeah, exactly. So what a great idea. So the book awards also have their own following. They may have 10,000 people on Instagram. And if they put your book up on their Instagram, you've just had 10,000 people, 10,000 people see your book. And I just want to say that, and if that happens, you really want to respond to that. Because one thing I see authors doing is they get a little nervous. It's like, oh, they've posted my book. That's nice. Like, and then they kind of scuttle off, right? So you want to do more than just that. If somebody posts about your book, you want to like it and you want to comment and say thank you, or, you know, what else? Can you just thought I'd throw that out to you to see what your thoughts are around that?
I love that, and again, if you're an author and you're feeling like this, that someone has shared, say, an award has shared about your book on their platform, it's that part of that bonus benefit. Um, don't shy away from it. Don't be scared. That's a wonderful thing. That means that there's extra marketing work, and you didn't have to do anything extra with that. But say there's an Instagram post from the award, and you, Melody, say this is your book. Say that Melody goes and comments as the author and says, "Thank you so much for sharing this. I'm so excited about my recent publication," said in your fashion. But when a reader comes across that post, they see that this book belongs to this author, and this author is connected and engaged. It feels in reach. And as a reader, there's nothing quite as special as being able to connect and engage with your favorite authors.
Yeah.
So really take advantage of those promotional moments when someone is sharing about your book. Engage with it. Yeah, that's about as good as marketing gets.
Yes. Oh, exactly. So we've been talking about book awards kind of more in general, but I want to talk a little bit more about nonfiction. So I have a story. Before I launched Author Nation, I worked with authors locally here in Vancouver, where I am. We had monthly educational events and interviews. And one day I thought, well, I'm just going to bring in an author who's won an award and she can talk about awards. And so she actually went through how she won this award. And other people were in the audience listening carefully. And one person in particular was listening very carefully. And she went off and applied for book awards and won an award, an award that was going to be really helpful to her. It connected her to other people. She went to a conference as a book award winner, started talking to other people. She met other people. And then, because she does interactive books, and then people saw that, and somebody else approached her and said, hey, we have this book we want to write. We love this idea of interactive. Will you come work with us? And she went and worked with this group. She's in Canada, they're in Europe. She worked with this group to create their book, which was an interactive book. And then they published that, and then they got a book award. And I don't remember the name of the book award, but I remember that two people won it that book, and a book done by NASA, which was also interactive. And so this, it always just struck me that, this person came to this little Vancouver local event, learned something, and then she took herself international. And that's something, nonfiction book authors are sometimes looking for. They're not just looking for the award, but they're looking for the opportunities that lead to the awards. The opportunities that book awards lead to. And so can you talk a little bit about nonfiction book awards and how they might be a little bit different than, or maybe they're the same as fiction and children?
That's a wonderful anecdote. That's so exciting. And you know what? I'd like to take this moment to say that's not out of reach. That can happen to any author. And it's not, I say happen to, it's not something that happens to you. It's a culmination of these steps that you take. So, for example, what Melody was saying, this author took awards into her own hands, and she steadily submitted. And when she won, one opportunity led to another. And that's really, if you're going to take one thing away from this talk about book awards, remember that awards open opportunities for you. It is up to you to grasp these opportunities and really make them mean something for your book. But if you're looking for something to really open up your world, awards are definitely where you want to start.
Yeah.
So as far as, if fiction book awards are different from nonfiction, they're all basically the same, but what it comes down to is what is the award given for? That's more of a qualification. But when it comes to using awards to get new readers for your nonfiction book, there's different ways to do that. I know we covered a lot of those, but don't be afraid to dip into your network. Find new ways to connect with new readers, and not just readers, but maybe other, like Melody said, maybe other authors in your genre. Who are some people you can connect to kind of form your form your group, and what good things can you continue to do together?
Yeah. Exactly. And if you're live and you have any questions, this is the time to ask any last minute questions. We do have Essetino artists here. That is Arit and Jewel, and they have not written their book yet, but you are going to, aren't you, ladies? Right? they definitely have at least one book in them. I know they do. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining us today.
How exciting!
All right. Yeah, how exciting! I know lots of people who have books in them, and that when they get there, they'll be winning awards, I'm sure. So let's talk a little bit. Sorry.
Oh, sorry to cut in. If you're watching this and you haven't published yet, you're doing yourself such a tremendous favor by knowledge is power. I love that.
Yeah.
You're learning these things. You're trying to learn how to market your book, trying to find an audience for your book. You're doing really great things, so keep it up.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. So let's talk a little bit about Book Award Pro. So you have scoured the earth for these, 1,000 or however, like an immense number of awards, and you put them all into a database. And so I, as an author, I can go to bookawardpro.com and sign up. And like, what do I do? Do I put in like the theme? Like, what are the steps? What would be my first 3 steps? Let's do that. My first 3 steps.
So as a full-time book award nerd, I happen to love all the award details, but I do understand that as an author, you have so much to handle. You have a million things flying at you all at once. You don't have time to research thousands of awards and, put together your own lists and cull them to find the most promising opportunities, and then also submit for your awards. That's very time consuming. At Book Award Pro, we try to make things very simple for you. We do all of that work. We shoulder all of that so that you don't have to. So if you're thinking about joining, you would visit bookawardpro.com. Join the plan that best suits your book. We offer 3. One is our essentials. It covers our matching technology will go to work for your book and find award opportunities out there for you. The middle tier is our plus plan. You'll receive award matches, but our technology takes things a step further and pinpoints your most promising opportunities to win, and then you'll submit on your own. But just the act of pinpointing that, targeting that opportunity will save you time, save you money. And we also offer a 3rd tier, which is our pro plan, and that's everything. So that includes ongoing award matching, targeting your most promising opportunity, and we actually submit your book to an award, your most promising opportunity to win, every single month.
Nice.
So go to bookawardpro.com, select your favorite plan. You'll tell us a little bit about you as an author, a little bit about your book, and we'll take care of the rest for you.
Nice. So go to bookproaward.com, sign up, choose your plan, and then if there's a questionnaire, like just answer the questions that come along as best you can, and then let it do its work.
That's exactly right. Let our technology go to work for you.
I love that. I like it when somebody else does the work. So it's my favorite thing. That's excellent. So if you want more information about Book Award Pro, go there. Or if you'd like to follow Book Award Pro, you can go to Instagram /Book Award Pro as well. and follow along and see what they're doing there. Hannah, are we missing anything?
We've covered a lot today, and if you're feeling overwhelmed with all that you've learned, keep in mind that book awards are meant to be something good for your book. They do something for your book. Use them, leverage them, let them help you find new audiences, engage with your existing readers. Let book awards go to work for you.
Exactly. I can't agree more. That sounds like a great idea. I have so much to do. The last thing I need is another to do on my list to go through thousands of possible awards, scouring Google to find them. It just seems like a crazy thing. So yeah, check out Book Award Pro. I think it's a wonderful idea. Hannah, thank you so much for joining us today. If you're out there and you have not subscribed to Author Nation YouTube channel yet, do so for more live streams like this. Every Thursday, we have a very important conversation with somebody who can help you find that success that you want. And thank you all for watching. Next Thursday, I'm interviewing Chantel Cox, and we're going to be talking about pardon me, life transitions and transformations. And if writing a book isn't a life transition and transformation, I don't know what is. I will see you then.